Hey, what's up? I'm Rafael de Furia, aka Rafi D is me, and I am back at it again on another beautiful Friday night. This week we're going to talk about something that I've been seeing pop up more and more often, and especially this past, say, week and a half or so. There seems to have been an uptick in the amount of articles being written about the new ETIAS system. Just before we get started into the video, if you'd like to see more content like this about moving to Italy, Italian dual citizenship, and living life abroad, be sure to subscribe with that notification bell turned on, and if you could also give this video a like, I would really appreciate it, as it does help out the channel. Also, a huge thank you, as always, to those of you who are regular monthly supporters of this channel to help make more content like this possible. You can go to rafaeldefuria.com/Patreon, or if you would like to help out just once, you can go to rafaeldefuria.com/support. For those of you who are regular viewers of my videos, towards the end of this video, there's going to be an update, and then also I'm looking for some feedback about a few things, and I'd love to hear from you guys, so be sure to watch to the end. And if you feel as though this video helps you in any way, feel free to share it with your friends across social media or however you guys keep in contact. This is just as kind of an outsider's perspective of what's been going on. Also, one quick note is that the ETIAS system will not affect anybody who is a dual citizen of the US and a European Union country, or any citizen of any European Union country. A lot of what I'll be sharing in this video is just my understanding of what I've seen so far and some opinions along the way. But as I was saying, there seems to be a huge misconception about what is the ETIAS. People keep calling it the ETIAS Visa, but this ETIAS is not a visa at all. What it is a visa waiver program. So it's not that you have to get a visa, it's just that you have to go through this process instead of getting a visa. The difference is that this visa waiver program is done through an online electronic system. And for those of you who are from countries that will require an ETIAS travel waiver, there will be a fee for that. I haven't been able to track down what exactly that fee might be. I've seen two different numbers. I've seen €7 and I've seen €15. So I'm not going to say a final number what that is, because it's possible that number may change by the time the system is fully rolled out. All travelers will need an ETIAS visa waiver, including infants, but it seems as though for people who are under 18, there's not going to be any kind of fee. But for people who are 18 and above, there will be this fee in place. But what does ETIAS actually stand for? It stands for European Travel Information and Authorization System. And this sort of visa waiver program is not anything new. The United States has had a similar program in place for quite some time now called ESTA, the Electronic System for Travel Authorization. For example, travelers from England have been able to apply for this visa waiver. What is the practical difference between the visa waiver and just applying for a visa? If you want to apply for the visa waiver, you can do that on the computer, online from home. They say it should be a maximum of about 10 minutes, whereas for a visa, what you would actually need to do is go to the consulate of the country that you're hoping to visit and go through a whole bunch of paperwork, potentially bringing birth certificate, criminal records, all of these different things. Through the ETIAS system, what they're saying is they will do some sort of background check of some sort, but from what I was able to find, it seems as though it's just that they're going to ask these questions to you directly. Maybe there will be some criminal background check as well, but it seems as though it's based mostly on user input. From what I've seen, some of the questions will be about what sort of work do you do? Do you currently have a job? What is your current address? Have you ever been involved with crime? It seems as though the only requirements of getting an ETIAS visa waiver will be having a credit or debit card, a valid travel document for at least up to 90 days after you'll be arriving, as well as a current address and email address. One thing that I've noticed was that it seems as though that this ETIAS system came into place almost in response to America's ESTA system, because there was talk at one point of forcing Americans to get a visa to come to Europe. But because not all members of the European Union have been treated equally when being able to travel to the US, because as far as the EU is concerned, they want all member states to be treated equally. They want them basically to be treated similarly to as American states would be. Like if you're from New York, you have the same rights and everything as someone from California. So as far as the EU is concerned, they want somebody from, say, for example, Germany to have the same rights to travel as somebody from Bulgaria. So that would mean if country A, that's a part of the European Union, doesn't need a visa to travel to the US, country B, that's also part of the European Union, shouldn't need a visa either. Because the US didn't seem interested in going with that, it seemed as though, from what I was seeing, that this was kind of a response. One of the benefits that seems to maybe come into play with this is that it might allow for faster processing times at the border when you're coming in. The authorization system also seems to really be in place for security reasons. It also seems to be going into place to try and fight against certain forms of crime. But I'm sure you can guess what kinds of crimes they might be going after. One other thing, though, is it seems as though even if a person does acquire the ETIAS Visa waiver, that it is still possible for that person to get denied entry into Europe. This does not guarantee you entry into the Schengen zone. You could get to the border of the country that you're entering and still be refused if the border agent feels as though they have a reason to refuse your entry. Having the ETIAS will even be required just simply to get on the plane. Also, when checking into a flight, the ticketing agent will be required to check that you have your ETIAS Visa waiver approved. If you don't have this approved, you won't even be allowed to get onto the plane. But if for some reason the visa waiver is refused, you do have the right to try and appeal that. From what I've been reading also, it seems as though the answer should be pretty quick, but that they do have up to 4 weeks to be able to give you an answer. But what they're saying is that the approval should actually just happen within a few minutes after applying. It is good for multiple entries for up to 3 years, but it doesn't negate the rules that currently already exist for the Schengen area, where people who hold passports of other nationalities that are not European, or at least not EU or Schengen, will still be limited to staying in the European Union 90 out of every 180 days. 3 out of every 6 months. So that means in the space of 6 months, if you're in the EU for a total of 90 days, that's the maximum amount of time that you're able to be here. It doesn't have to be 90 consecutive days. It just within the period of 180 days, that only 90 of those days can be spent in the Schengen zone. When applying for the ETIAS, you will also need to list what country you intend to first enter through. And not only will you need to let them know what country you intend to enter through, but you will need to actually enter into the Schengen area through that country. So for example, if you're planning a trip to go to Italy, Germany, and Spain, and you're going in that order, you will need to first enter into Italy. As of the recording of this video, they still have not released a way to officially apply for the ETIAS yet. And yes, that means the system has not been rolled out yet, and it also is not expected for this to be in place until 2021, January of 2021. And it wouldn't be required to have the ETIAS until January 2021 if it does get put into place by January of 2021. At this point, there's still a lot that hasn't been finalized yet, and there will be necessary updates. If there comes a point where there are updates on this subject, and I haven't spoken about it in this video, I will make a follow-up video to this. And so, unlike all of these headlines that have been going out over the past week and a half or so, it's not a visa. This ETIAS is not an ETIAS visa. It's just an ETIAS Visa waiver. Visa is in the name, but it's not a visa itself. Much simpler process, in theory. And just before we get to the final part of this video, if you have anything to add to the conversation, feel free to leave that down in the comment section below. Or if you have any comments, or if you have any questions about any other subjects, always feel free to leave that down there, because who knows, it could become a future video. And if this video helped you at all, if you found it informative, or if it's got some information that you want to share with the people that you know, feel free to share it over your social media or email, WhatsApp, however you guys keep in contact. All right, now for the update. Drum roll, please. Those of you who've been watching my videos and follow me on social media will know that I've been having some big computer problems, even to the point where my computer stopped working. Because of those of you who support my videos monthly on Patreon, and some of you who came and stood up to the plate right when I needed help the most, because of your help and support, I've been able to get over and get through this computer situation, and now I am back on the horse. And because I'm now not having these same computer issues as I was before, that means that there's the potential that I can maybe create more content and different types of content. I've been thinking, for those of you who've been watching my videos for a while, I've been thinking anyway about maybe maybe adding a second video per week. I've tried out a few different things. Like I've tried just a couple of random uploads last year, one of which being, some of you might remember, Bachelor Gourmet. That didn't seem like too many people were crazy about it, but it was something I had fun doing just as a one-off. So I was thinking, what would you guys like to see? Would you guys like to have a second video every week? I'm thinking at the very beginning, it wouldn't be every week. I'm thinking because also I have something that I normally do on Tuesday nights, and Tuesday would probably be, I think, the best day to upload a second video because it kind of spaces out the videos a little bit. And just for the time being, every other Tuesday, maybe do some sort of video. Just an idea. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I just wanted to get some feedback about what you guys thought and what kind of content you might be interested in. Are you interested in hearing more about Italy, or are you interested in more kind of just general daily stuff? I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, or if it's not even interesting to you at all, I'd actually like to know that as well. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this time, and if you would like to see more content like this, please be sure to subscribe with that notification bell turned on, and if you could also give this video a like, I would really appreciate it. Also, if you would like to help make more videos like this possible on a monthly basis, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/Patreon, or if you'd like to help out just once, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/support. And of course, as always, I'm Rafael Di Furia, aka Rafi Dews Me. Thank you for joining me on another beautiful Friday night. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all next Friday. Later.